Warning, if you're thinking of getting a puppy, be very careful. You might just find yourself standing in front of an audience wearing sequins. Madam Contest Master, ladies and gentlemen, it all started when I decided to name my puppy Zelda after the Nintendo game about a princess named Zelda. Somehow she figured out that she was named after a princess, and she made it clear to my family that she is no ordinary dog. She is a princess. She doesn't lie on the floor like an ordinary dog. She sits upon a beanbag chair as her throne. But somehow, ruling over our palace from her throne wasn't enough. Zelda seemed bored. She looked at me as if to silently say, "Amuse me." But what would Princess Zelda want to do? I thought, she's a collie. That's a herding breed. Maybe she'd like to go herding. She'd be fulfilling her natural herding instincts. So I went and I bought a shepherd's whistle. I had it all pictured clearly in my mind. The lush, verdant fields, the white, woolly sheep off in the distance, my trusted collie by my side, and with a whistle, she would race across the field to gather the sheep and bring them to my feet. Went to the farm to learn how to herd sheep, but it turned out that her princess instincts dominate her herding instincts. Princesses will herd only if there's no mud, it isn't too hot, and the sheep don't try to get away all the way to the other end of the field. That's just too much work. One day the herding instructor said to me, "Herding's not for Zelda. I think she might be an agility dog." Agility is the sport where the dog races through an obstacle course. We trained for a while and then entered our first agility competition. Before the competition began, all of the competitors were allowed to walk the course for a set period of time, but without their dogs. That's when all of the handlers began running the course with imaginary dogs. So I ran the course with imaginary Zelda. I shouted, "Jump!" and imaginary Zelda sailed over the hurdle without touching the bar. Tunnel! And imaginary Zelda charged through the tunnel. A-frame and imaginary Zelda raced up and down the 6-foot-high A-shaped obstacle. She was awesome! Finally, it was our turn to run the course for real. But real Zelda's run didn't go quite the same. She made it over the jump and through the tunnel, but the A-frame was her downfall, literally. She made it up no problem, but when she reached the summit, she toppled over, and we were disqualified. Later, a lady came up to talk to me, and I thought she was going to offer more condolences on our performance when she said, "Your dog, she is so regal. She moves so gracefully. You really must try canine freestyle." Canine freestyle? I said, "What's that?" "Well," she said, "some people call it doggy dancing." Doggy dancing? Do I hold her front paws and teach her how to waltz on her hind legs? "No," she said, "you choreograph a routine to music, and as your dog performs the different movements or tricks, you dance along with her. You perform the dance in front of a judge, on the technical and artistic merits. She went on to explain that part of the artistic merit score is based on costume. And in doggy dancing, the more sparkles, glitter, and sequins, the better. That goes for the dog's collar, too. So I got Zelda a sparkly, poofy collar to wear, and she loved it. She seemed to stand taller, as if to say, "Finally, some proper clothes to reflect my true self." I put on my costume, and I thought, boy, do I look silly. The big day came for the doggy dancing competition. We did our synchronized spins. We leapt through the air. We sashayed to the right, and we sashayed to the left. Just in time for the grand finale, Zelda sitting up and begging for applause. We nailed it. The crowd cheered. The judge awarded us first place. And Zelda was pleased. She knew all those people had come to see us dance in our fine and fancy clothes. So heed my warning. That's what can happen when your dog looks at you and silently says, "Come on, let's do something." If you're anything like me, you're probably going to wind up looking like an idiot. You're running around with sheep, leading imaginary dogs through an obstacle course, or bedazzling another doggy dancing outfit. I just can't disappoint Zelda. She's my princess. Madam Contest Master.